to each other, counterbalance. When one is up, the other one is down, and vice versa. So while I haven't had the highs, I haven't had the lows.
So what would be an example if you were to throw that out as a way to specialize?
Looking at organizations like construction or capital equipment is always up. Looking at service organizations that are always there whenever there's no money for capital equipment.
Yes?
Suggest something along the lines of sort of the speed or smell of the industry. To the extent the industry is moving fairly quickly and changing fairly quickly? The extent the industry is changing and moving quickly, you can maintain your niche specialty and your differentiation by following the leaders in that industry. And it makes it harder for everybody else to follow you.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah, franchisees, I think, are a niche, you know.
I'm sorry?
Franchisees, consultants.
Oh, franchisees. Yeah, that's absolutely. Some people only deal with franchise. They specialize in operations for franchisees. Some do operations for franchisees in the food in the restaurant industry, and they might refine it down even more to say in QSR, which is what we call fast food, quick service restaurants. So, Linda?
I'm lost. Would you mind reading your list real quick?
Sure. So we talked about different ways to think about specializing. So you can think about it in terms of industries, right? Which also could be, or subsegments, because that could be, for example, we're going to work with professional services organizations, but actually we're going to really focus on law firms and attorneys firms. Life cycle, where they are in their life cycle. Company size, numbers of employees or dollars. Right? You could talk about location, local, regional, global, executive level, what executive level they are in the company, where they are as far as their role. They could be new in their role. They could be new at the company. Family owned. That's a common target. Skill set or offering. So taking marketing or taking HR and focusing down to, we're going to do performance assessments. We're going to do specific type of coaching of new managers in companies. It could be business to business. It could be business to consumer. It could be any one of a number of ways. Counter-cyclical industries, how you can kind of package a couple of them together to help manage the more feast or famine and the roughness of the economy on your business. Franchises, that's again another one you hear. Government, franchise, not-for-profit, those are all kind of areas where you can focus down. And even in the government sector, for example, you might focus on health and human services at the state level in government. You could focus on just local government, right, cities and counties, and servicing that. So I know that we're running a little bit long for our schedule. We're still on time, but for where we wanted to be. So I wanted to make sure, was there anything else that anybody could think of that you wanted to have me add to the list?
Yeah, or let's just open it up for questions in general too.
I have to tell you a story from the Dallas chapter on this topic. We had a session. Our speaker was a woman named Claire, chapter member, who was from England. And I asked her a question. Is it important to get focused on the right niche? Something like this. And her response was, oh yes, it's very, very important, in her proper British accent, to be focused on the right niche. And then I said, hey Claire, you just actually got off the plane back from England, right? She said, yes, I just came here from England visiting my parents. Claire, when you were in England and working on this focus issue, did you meet any of the knights who say niche? And you guys are doing much better. It was dead silence about this many people. Dead silence. The nerds started laughing. And everybody starts laughing. Claire from England has no idea who Monty Python and the Knights Who Speak Niche.
So, So I think that's, so, think about how you can create take something that's an offering or multiple types of offerings and create that higher impact for yourself, and how that's going to affect how you compete with others, how you can get referral, and work through that. And it's going to be an evolutionary process as you start to think about that. Take a look at your past, where you've been successful, where you've gotten the most traction, where it was the easiest to sell, and where maybe you have critical mass among a couple of customers.
Tom brought up a great point as far as the right niche. I'll say niche since I'm piggybacking on your story. And that is another common misconception, is we tend to focus on what is the newest, hottest industry, and that is the only thing that everybody goes after. If we go back to the image that we had up earlier of all the fish in the sea, you have a choice. And for any of you who have read the book Blue Ocean Strategies, you have a choice. Do you want to swim in the red ocean, or do you want to swim in the blue ocean? Yes, you brought up a very good point that I chose construction. I have a highly specialized niche within construction, which no, right now it is not a thriving industry, but I have myself so well positioned that I am constantly in conversations and landing clients regularly, because I am the only one still in front of the construction industry. Nobody thinks to go after them because everybody hears they're having such a hard time. So not only do I have a highly specialized niche, but I've got a completely blue ocean with no fish in it because nobody wants to go after them. Nobody even wants to talk to them. They assume there's no money. Oh, hold on, I think he is the mic. Oh, hold on, let me bring you in line.
There you go.
The other thing to consider is that there's a lot of unsexy industries out there that need a lot of help, and they get ignored because they're unsexy. If you really look at where the bread and butter of a lot of this country is, it's in making gaskets. It's in making the seals that go around the edge of the whatever that we never even heard that existed in our lives. And if you start getting into really researching who's out there and what they're doing, there's a lot of little companies that are bread and butter that could really use some professional expertise to take their business up a notch.
And that's, nobody's beating a path to their door. Recently, in fact, earlier today, a colleague of mine, not in marketing, is going to work for a company that makes pipe casings. And they happen to also be the sole provider to the U.S. Navy for periscope pipes. So you know what? They're doing pretty good. Nobody has beaten a path to their door. Another colleague of mine does imaging equipment work. So
one of the things I'm thinking about is possibly a unique way to package what we do. Bill Gates was fairly successful in putting together something called the Office Suite. And one of the things I'm looking at is finding a function that I've been working with that has difficulty doing things, and they go and look at disparate parts to make it work, but to put the parts together in such a way, just like when you use Excel and Word and PowerPoint, it all flows.
That's a great idea.
yeah. So
We're just about out of time, so we can take one last question.
well, what I was going to say is real quickly, there is a last worksheet.
We have decided for you that you have from now until December 31st to complete our checklist to help you execute what your specialty is. What is your specialized niche, or how are you going to repackage your services? Because January 1, 2012 is the best time to launch your new niche. And things to consider when you're repackaging and preparing to launch your specialty niche is to be consistent across all forms of communication. Work on your elevator pitch and practice it on every person you could possibly come across. Remember that even if you completely screw it up, All it does is offer them an opportunity to come up to you and say, I didn't understand what you said, could you please tell me more? And I've done that multiple times. I've completely botched my elevator pitch, and I've had people come up to me, please tell me more. And it gave me the opportunity to explain it properly. Your bio and your background. Make sure that you restructure it so it focuses on the specific niche that you're talking about. How are you redefining what it is you did to align with what you want to do? All of your print materials, if you need to change the wording, if you need to change the company name, if you need to change your tagline. When the slide of my business was up, if you noticed, my tagline before was observe, envision, transcend. It is now, their perception is your reality. It's a big difference. So I needed to change all of my marketing materials, both print and online. Now when it comes to online, make sure you update all of your profiles. Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, the IMC website, any other organizations that you belong to. Update everything. It has to be consistent, online, on paper, and out of your mouth. Past clients. Like we said, we're planning it that you can launch your new specialized business January 1st. In order to do that, you need to A, restructure your testimonials, and B, you need to go back to your clients and say, hey, by the way, I'm launching some new products, some new services, and I'd like you to be the first to know. By being the first to know, they feel that they are in some secret club that nobody else has access to at this current moment. You can even phrase it that you're offering them some special price because they are a past client. Partner referral information. Some people take the approach of putting packets together to help others refer them. If you do that, make sure you update your referral packet and you educate your referral partner on what is now a good referral for you and how you want them to talk about you and your business, your products, your services. This is a great way to help you practice how you talk about your business and get feedback about how you describe it. Rates. That's why we're all in business, to make money. Make sure your rates reflect your true ability to provide the services and the offerings that you are now going to be offering. And the very last item is your transition is complete and officially launched January 1st. We wish you the best of luck in launching your new specialized business, and feel free to contact us. We will be around after this presentation. We are both staying tonight if you have any following questions, and we would love to hear how your new launch goes.
Well, thank you very much. Those of you that do have business cards that you want Mel and Elizabeth to have, please bring them up afterwards. And we have a couple of small gifts for you. Thank you so much for completing Confab. And thank you for your attending this session. Make sure you fill out your evaluation forms.